Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of No More Popcorn. Today, we traveled back to 1974 to watch a movie with Sean Connery. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nathan,
Yeah.
give us the plot to Zardan the Barbarian.
Zardoz. Zardoz. Everybody do your Sean Connery.
Zardoz. Zardoz.
All right, so this movie has one of the most what the fuck kind of openings in any movie ever.
Sure, yeah. Just give us a synopsis of the film, though.
Overall.
I'm going to challenge you. I want you
That's
to
not
give.
hard.
I want you to. 20 seconds. You have to explain what this movie is about.
Okay, so you have humanity became super advanced. The year is 2293. You had these group of people that walled themselves off in these communities they called vortexes. They figured out immortality. They basically figured out how to live forever, but also it's like they had advanced science to everything they could possibly do. And so they walled themselves off, but you still have people on the outside. There's a guy named Arthur Frayne.
Oh,
Frey.
Yeah, Frey.
He is kind of in charge of the outside world. They've left him to deal with whatever. And Arthur has been breeding humans. He is selecting certain people that can breed and certain people that can't. He's assigned others to kill most of the people. And he has been breeding, we find out eventually, a certain person. But let me back up, though. Let me back up to what we
20
know.
seconds is way
Yeah,
too fast.
no,
I'm just kidding.
well-
I'm kidding.
But so we have basically we have the character Zed, played by Sean Connery. At the beginning of the movie, we have a giant stone head that is flying above the landscape, and the people known as executioners, these guys, Zed is one of them. They're signed with the task by Zardoz. They believe is this stone head is their god, Zardoz. He gives them guns, orders them to kill. We have Sean Connery stows away in the stone head, and he gets into one of the vortexes.
Okay, well now we're getting into a breakdown of the movie. We're not.
Yeah.
This is not a synopsis of the movie.
No, this is a synopsis of the movie.
This is what you would put on Amazon as far as what's this movie about?
I'm giving you the synopsis. I'm telling you, I have to get into. I gave you the synopsis. I'm just trying to give you like. So we have Sean Connery now is in this community, and he is trying to figure out where he's at. At the same time, you have these immortal people that want to run tests on him. They want to figure out what he's doing, who he is, how he got into the vortex.
Okay.
That is the setup for the movie.
Okay. All right.
God damn it.
I wanted to challenge you to sum up this fucking insanity.
I don't think it's that. I mean, I did. I don't think it's that crazy. It's just to explain how you get to the point, because it has a misdirect in it. So to get to the point of, yeah, it's just a group of immortals living a walled-off city, and a guy gets into it, and it's his quest to figure out what's going on, and then basically.
There we go.
That's
Yeah.
it. But I'm saying it misdirects you, so you have to back up to then get to, okay, how did that happen?
Well, sure. And that's where we all come in. That's where we start to talk about this.
All right, go for it.
Okay, well, I told you flat out, straight out the gates, you're going to have to explain it because I could not keep up with what in the hell was going on. So, kudos for being able to sum that up. It's a ton of fun, but I was it's one thing after another. This one is your plot, like you said, I feel like is very simple, and I feel like I understood that a little bit more at the very end of the movie. Like once it's all finalized, I'm like, okay, the plot is simple if you can stay on task of just realizing this is simple. There's all this crazy shit that they're throwing into it. So I don't know where to begin talking with this one, to be completely honest with you. I think straight out the gates, visually, it's hysterical. With your whole, like you said, this huge fucking rock face, which we all agreed on looked like what are they called from Mario? Whoppers or
Chomps.
Womps.
Womps.
That's what it
Womps.
was.
This big thing flying through the air, all these people on horses, just screaming Zardoz, Zardoz, and I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm very confused.
Were you confused that Zardon or Zardoz said
Zardoz.
Zardoz?
It's the name of the movie.
Said that penis are evil and guns are good.
Guns are good. Penises are bad. Go kill.
Well, yeah.
Basically.
Well, the movie, it throws a lot of weird visuals, and once you have Zed, Sean Connery's character, once he's in the utopian kind of community, they do a lot of weird shit left and right. That they don't really explain why. They're standing under sheets, and it's like they're meditating or something, and
Sure.
or at one point we're going to the second level of consciousness or whatever,
Yeah.
and they all have their hands out. But it really is just Sean Connery is in this place, and he is set up to figure out what's going on. Let me jump ahead. What we eventually discover is that the guy that plays Zardoz wanted Sean Connery to get in. He set him up to break into the community. He bred him specifically to basically be a free human, a normal human. These people have lost their ability to sort of think and feel, their ability to advance. So he set up Sean Connery to come in and fuck everything up. Like people, there's that scene where he's with these apathetic people, and they taste his sweat, and it starts to make him horny, right? So something in his DNA is basically he's an advanced true human, and they've actually regressed. So it is just all these people want to die. It's almost that idea of wanting to die sort of spreads once they start thinking about it. They're like, oh, we all want to die. And it's basically the movie is then Sean Connery trying to figure out, how do I find a way to kill these people? Some of them want to die, and then others are trying to stop him. But once he kind of gets to the point, they're like, oh no, we all want to die. Please, we want to die, but we can't, because if anybody dies, they get resurrected by this machine, the tabernacle, which the person that set up the community, once they set up the tabernacle to give them more immortality, he made it so nobody would remember how they did it, and that they couldn't do anything about it. He intentionally did that so that they would be forced to live forever and advance humanity to a perfect state. But what they actually got was just misery and apathy, and they all just hated life,
I really hope the director stumbles across it as finally someone gets it. because no, seriously, I applaud that. And maybe it's just I feel like the majority of people. Okay, I'm actually not even going to say that. I am the kind of person, when I watched this, I could not retain any of the information what it was actually about outside of just the very, like you said, just sort of a simple plot, but it was hard for me to keep up with all the stuff. I feel like this is one that you watch for all of the crazy fucking antics in it.
Right.
Even you yourself are kind of laughing at, I was saying oh, is that what Amazon would put on there? Their description was 2 sentences.
Yeah.
And I kind of, I don't know. I've met my match. I'm not going to lie. The whole time we were watching this, I was like, I don't really know what all to talk about. I feel like there's a million and one things to bring up. But as far as the actual story and structure of this movie, I can't compartmentalize it to be okay, here's where these beats go. I just remember visuals of just insanity.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this movie one time about 10 years ago, and all I remembered was the Stonehead spitting out guns, and then a lot of crazy shit with a lot of natural 70s titties.
No, absolutely.
That was what was in my memory.
And you were correct. Whenever we started it, because Nathan, you were the only one that had seen it, and when it started, you sit here this is the wildest beginning to a movie. And yes, I mean, granted, it totally is. And I put my foot in my mouth because I was I'm a little bit scared, though, a little bit hesitant, because a lot of times when a movie starts off that strong, a lot of times you end up with a bunch of downtime and stupid filler. And I stand corrected. I was not bored at a single fucking moment of this movie. I think that certain segments went on
too
annoyingly too long. but the fact that I was annoyed by it didn't make me bored. God, yeah, Patrick, please
Thoughts?
say something, man.
Yeah, like
Give us one of your little things that annoyed you.
there has to be a million, right? Like,
there's quite a few. One was the erection. Like they were so perplexed at how a man would get an erection.
Yeah, because it's like these people they had sort of engineered they didn't have kids. They had engineered any kind of sexual thing out of their system.
But
So
I would think with all this knowledge that they have,
right, yeah,
they
that's
would
true.
have already known what would do it.
well,
Yeah,
sure,
that's
but
true,
But
yeah.
they did look at Sean Connery at one point, though, and say that, the one woman was saying, like, you have surpassed any of us, here in the vortex
Yeah.
or whatever. So that's all I got on that.
I'd say, well, I think there's other vortexes because they were saying
Yeah.
Vortex 3, whatever, section, whatever. So that's not the only vortex. So there should be a sequel.
Somewhere in their travels,
new
they've
sequel.
came across
Yeah.
sex before.
Let's drag Sean Connery out of the nursing home he's in.
Well, we gotta
put him in a.
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta find out what happens with him and his wife and his kid.
So let's just talk a little bit about Sean Connery here. I feel like he was at the beginning. Well, actually, I'd say probably like the first quarter of the movie. I feel like he was sort of utilized like how the John Wick series has utilized Keanu. They're basically like you just need to do these things. Don't fucking say anything. He's I have something to say. No, you don't. You don't. You just need to do this.
Run through and things will
manly.
happen.
Be manly, yeah, and things are gonna happen. God, it was so uncomfortable to look at that motherfucker. To me, I don't even I'm able to look back at a time when woman, and recognize when
Good-looking
someone is
man.
handsome and stuff like that. Dude, Sean Connery I don't know what that sound is. It's the
One of your neighbors.
yeah.
Like,
Sean Connery looks like what I would imagine a disco version to be dressed up as. I don't know.
Like part of he's like one of the village
He's one of the
people.
village people. There you go. He's got short shorts, these huge fucking boots on,
Sideburns, mustache,
Yeah, all he does is just kind of run around and there's all
braided
these-
ponytail.
There's all these fucking sacks of potatoes that he's interested in.
He's
for
a
some reason.
manly motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then you have this utopian society that's just filled with these limp sort of
Yeah, very futuristic.
overly
What was the
effeminate.
year again? Like
2293.
Yeah, 2293. So this is what we have to look forward to in 2293, apparently, according to this movie. Which, yeah, it does. I mean, that's not poking on anything. It definitely makes it almost like masculinity is no longer a thing. It's just
Right.
all become kind of like a feminist, or not feminist, but
Oh, that fits.
yeah, it fits. Okay. I mean, probably not for the way a lot of assholes are interpreting it, but it kind of has like a very, feminine touch to everything. There's no kind of brawn or anything to anybody. Even the men seem like very enamored by him. They're like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You know.
they wanted him.
but God, he's so ugly, and that's coming from me. I'm hideous.
I thought he was a good looking manly man.
Oh, Sean?
I'd want to look that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Connery,
That barreled chest.
sexiest man alive.
Not in this movie.
That tan skin.
But anyway, I digress. Yeah. Jesus. Okay, so we've talked about how he looks. It'll show. One of my favorite parts of it was it showing where he came from. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Is people are questioning him tell us all you know, tell us everything, and it's all projected on this futuristic screen. They got him laying on a fucking table. He's got his hands behind his head, chest barreling out.
Yeah.
And it's showing all of his memories that I guess they have access to, and there is some stuff that he has to give permission for them to view. But it'll show him and his colleagues on all of these killing sprees. They're just fucking riding down
raping.
beaches on horses, just mowing people
Shooting
down.
people, raping people. His favorite memory is throwing a net over a woman and raping her on the beach
For Zardoz.
because he was allowed to breed. He was one of the people that was allowed to breed.
So the sequel will be of that child.
Oh, that
Gillen.
child
There we
goes
go.
off.
Yeah.
All
He's in
right.
the Outlands. Yeah.
All right. I feel like about halfway through, would you all say? I feel like it kind of took a little bit of a turn with the.
Where it got even more crazy.
I feel like that's really where, whenever you were saying kind of like an acid trip of a movie, which it is. I mean, we mean that in every form and fashion of the time. I mean, visually and everything. You look at this and you take in consideration when it was made. You're like, yep, there was a bunch of drugs involved, and these people were trying to express themselves.
All
man.
this, yeah, all the language in it about this sort of, what's the word? All this kind of self-realization shit, all this like self-discovery and all this like weird nihilistic stuff coming in later with everybody wishing for death and him being trapped in this crystal and all these people beating on the walls trying to get him and all that stuff. I mean, it goes from basically acid trip to bad acid trip kind of thing. Like it's very, and all the language in it, it very much does. Yeah, it feels like the director and Sean Connery got together and did some drugs and decided to make a crazy movie.
I mean, it's God. I really don't. I don't know. I want to fucking like. I almost want to rip it apart for being like, God, like you were just intentionally throwing the most bizarre shit into my face for no fucking reason and no payoff. But it was so fucking fun that it's like I can't criticize it for it. I want to. I think a lot of the shit that we've seen in it wasn't really necessary to the story, but at the same time, it was just their visual choice. It's like how they visually wanted to portray the story.
Yeah, Charlotte Rampling. She was Consuela.
Yeah.
That old lady in a lot of movies now.
I know, I've seen her and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah. She was good looking when she was younger.
Sorry.
Wait, wasn't that your love girl from Dead Alive?
My love girl from Dead Alive.
Your love girl from wasn't that her?
No,
No,
I don't
No.
think so.
no, that wasn't her. The
Dead
love
Alive,
girl.
the Asian,
No,
Asian,
she was
the
like
Mexican girl,
yeah,
Spanish
she was
girl.
Hispanic or whatever.
Well, Consuela sounds pretty Hispanic to me.
It does,
Well,
but
they're
it's
in the-
definitely not the same.
They're in year 2221 or whatever. They culturally appropriated names in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna start spouting off shit that hit me.
Yeah. I was about to do
Oh
that
yeah.
too.
No. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Oh, you want me? Oh.
Oh, I don't care. I was just going to talk about. I haven't laughed in a while, or this hard in a while. Where it's another thing where they're viewing Sean Connery's past, and there's this line of workers. They're like cultivating like wheat and shit like that. Yeah. So it's all these people working and they're beating the ground with sticks and stuff. And one of them, this dude falls. I guess he just took a tumble or whatever, and just like it doesn't even miss a fucking beat. This guy falls to his knees, and I'm assuming Sean Connery or one of his guys.
It was Sean Connery.
Just shoots him in the fucking head. It's the greatest.
One stumble. No fucking around.
That's how it's done. Burger King, fucking take notes.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that. I thought it was so funny. Yeah, so go right ahead.
No, I was saying I love the idea. So this sort of utopian society, the vortexes, they have it's basically thought crime because there's a scene in the movie where you see one guy he's basically had impure thoughts and thoughts of like dissatisfaction with society. Basically, he gets convicted, and what they do is they give you years of, since nobody can die, they just add age onto you. And then there's a part of the community called the renegades, which are people who are kind of cast out of the main society, and they basically get aged really old, and they get put off in this other part, and it's just all these.
In all this little dome.
Everybody gets tuxedos and evening gowns, and there's just all these old people partying and acting really crazy and weird.
Be in that.
That's
like
what
they
I
were
was saying. I
having
was
more
like, man,
fun.
this ain't
Yeah.
that bad.
Well, yeah, they called the renegades. They're like they're the people that said no, we're not doing your fucking, because that's what happened to. So there's a character named Friend he's sort of your roguish kind of funny guy that's kind of guiding Sean Connery around when he first gets in the community, and at one point they're gonna do some weird fucking meditation, go to the second level. He refuses, and they're all like standing there like, oh, and they're like doing this thing with their hands, and he's like, no, and they all keep coming into him in their like weird trance, and finally he like basically dies, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was actually kind of surprised to see that his character take that kind of a turn. And once again, maybe it's just because I was having a little bit of a hard time keeping up. But like, whenever Sean Connery first does get there, I mean, this guy seems like he's like full-fledged on board with what his peers are doing. Like he's whipping them and stuff like that. And like fucking, just being a total dick. But calling it, what do you call him, beast? Or
Yeah, he called him a beast, a monster.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell he's basically like he wants to have fun. You can see him like wanting to have fun, and all these other people are just sort of like, he has a very lackadaisical kind of attitude about everything. And then I guess at some point he's kind of infected by Sean Connery's whatever, and he says no. Yeah, he says no, which is happening the whole time. The whole time he's in there, everybody is just like, all the women are gravitating to him, coming in, like starting to rub his hairy chest, and it's happening the whole time because they see a free person, a free human, and they're attracted to it, and it seems like it's like they don't really know why.
Got a couple little trivia things here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the opening sequence is an introduction added by John Boorman at the request of 20th Century Fox to help the audience understand this movie.
Good job. I appreciate that.
So the flying head, the stone head, and the guns.
Explains everything.
Cheers, John Borman. God damn.
So like he brought them the movie. They're like, we need something really fucking crazy at the beginning of this, otherwise everybody's gonna hate it.
So
Put some shrink-wrapped naked people in that head too,
Yep.
just for the shits of it.
apparently,
Let's draw on a Sharpie mustache and a little goatee.
Sir Sean Connery was having a hard time finding work after Diamonds Are Forever. So he was able to hire Connery, Boorman was.
Got him on
for
sale.
$200,000.
Oh.
Yep. Reportedly, Charlotte Rampling was looking forward to her sex scene with Sir Sean Connery.
Didn't even. Well, it
and
kinda
then was
happened.
disappointed it was over and done with so quickly.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, they didn't really show much there. I was disappointed.
No, yeah.
We should have seen more of her.
Let's see. There was another thing I seen. Oh, okay. So when Sean Connery shoots the dude that fell doing the thing, that was actually John Boorman.
Oh, nice.
He was
Okay.
the dude doing that.
Cool.
That's fun.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
And
Good piece of trivia.
let's see. Oh, Burt Reynolds was actually going to be Zed or whatever his name was,
Yeah.
but he couldn't take it because he was sick. I'm serious.
You serious?
Yeah, he was the first choice for the lead, but he had to bow it out.
The second was Tom Selleck,
to-
and then
Yeah, right. There we go. There we
and
go.
then they got an on sale
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
Oh, last one after that.
Yeah.
So Sean Connery was uncomfortable doing the cross-dressing scene.
He
Where
looked
he's- yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to see Sean Connery in a wedding dress.
Yeah.
Just like
Did not
Stone
like
Cold
it.
fucking face. Yeah. So we did find out that this director also. So did he direct Deliverance, or was he just?
He was. It said production, so I don't. I don't
Okay,
know
Okay.
if he was director or if he was, a producer or writer or
Gotcha.
whatever.
Well, all that to say, because I was like, whenever Nathan said like, oh yeah, Deliverance, I'm like, oh well, that would make sense with Sean Connery. we were getting mixed up. Like, oh yeah, that's not fucking Sean Connery. That's Burt Reynolds. So that would make he was clearly going for a certain look. Yeah.
The 70s manly man with
this-
a mustache.
Yeah. I think Harrison Ford was better.
Harrison Ford. Well, Harrison Ford was his own thing. I mean, he wasn't in that mustache club.
He wasn't
I
in the
mean,
Mustache Club,
yeah.
but
Yeah, he did he directed Deliverance. John
Okay.
Boorman did.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Got you. So another one of my favorites is at the end. You know, I'm not even going to try to tie in context of the actual plot. I'm just literally going to talk about shit I thought was funny. You've got all these people that are wanting to die. They've been given mortality now. So they're all just running up like, God, please kill me. Fucking just shoot me. And it's so fucking funny to watch herds of people just begging to
standing
be
there
killed.
hugging each other, all going, "Kill me,
Yeah,
kill me."
fucking kill me. It's so funny to me.
I thought they were gonna leave that one old man alive. He was just laying on the ground, just kill me,
Yeah.
and they're just running around.
Just out of spite.
Yeah.
Fuck him. God, I can't really recall any. Okay, so did we have any like over the top gore effects or anything like that in this
No.
one? The only thing that like prosthetically that I seen that I thought was rather funny was there's some scene where they're all marching together somewhere and there's this huge bulbous bald
oh yeah,
head
yeah,
out of fucking nowhere.
yeah.
Did you not notice that?
Oh,
It was
with
at the bottom of the screen.
with the Renegades,
Yeah.
because they had that kind of party thing. Yeah, I saw that thing a couple times, like it was a kind of a carnival.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of
It
thing.
was so weird.
Yeah.
It looked cool though. Another visual thing that I thought looked neat. There was a scene involving a lot of mirrors, which you were explaining. I guess they were supposed to be inside of this diamond. I actually thought that was really cool, and this kind of did take a turn. Like we were all, I feel like we were all sort of at the end of the movie on the same page as far as like this. It took like this art house fucking twist all of a sudden where we have our explanation for the movie, but like now they like they want to like symbolize it. You know what I mean? They want to like make it like a little deep.
Well, it was. I mean, it was actually. It literally was just. So he had the crystal. They all have these rings that are basically like Google.
Yeah.
This is an allegory about our coming end of the world because of Google. But so they had these rings that would just like he could ask it like, "What is this?" and it would tell him,
Right.
or it would answer information. So he has this diamond and he's looking into it and he's talking to what is actually the ring. It's the same thing, the diamond, and the diamond's like he basically figures out that I'm thinking that this diamond is sort of the storage, the brain of the whole thing, right?
the
The
cloud.
tabernacle, right? Yeah, it is. It's like
Yeah.
the cloud. And somehow, and then he goes inside of it because the room disappears,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden he's in there, and he goes through this. Well, no, before that he said the voice says, "You found the flaw." Or whatever, and then he goes inside of it. So then he's running around, he feels trapped or whatever. He fucking shoots it, and it's like, oh, you found it, you found the flaw.
Yeah, you killed it.
And it's like he he killed the tabernacle somehow, because then he wakes up, right? He's sitting at the same table,
That's all it took.
and then he literally has fucking time control powers.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting there, and the other woman's sitting there, and then friend is sitting there, and all the other people are rushing in to stop him. And he literally holds out his hand and backs up time, and they walk out.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they're after they're outside, he lets it go, and they all run back forward looking
Is that
for
what
him.
that was?
Yeah.
Because you saw the statues getting pieces.
He like got fucking god powers
Yeah.
after that.
He got Neo'd.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck,
It, like-
this movie is something else.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it
is.
really
Yeah.
is.
I mean, this is what happened when you find out that your god is a lie.
Oh, yeah, we need to bring that up, Zardoz.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, one of the guys, the guy that plays Zardoz, Arthur Frey or whatever, he sets up this fake god Zardoz, the stone thing. He sets up this whole thing. Well, Sean Connery and his buddies, the executioner buddies, they want to figure it out. So he stows away. He gets to this like city. He learns how to read, which was actually set up. You know, and it was set up by him anyway. But anyway, he gets in there and he finds The Wizard of Oz, the book, and he's looking at the cover.
Oh, he found a library
of the book,
learns how to read, and figures
and then
everything.
Yeah, and he's reading all the books, and then he looks at the cover of Wizard of Oz, and blocks out
by pure coincidence. Yeah.
You know, and the of is Zardoz. He's like, no! And he tears up the book, throws it. He figures out that God's a lie, and that's kind of why he goes on this whole thing to try to infiltrate and find God and whatever.
And kill them.
And in any other movie, I would have shut that shit off at that fucking moment.
Yeah, you were like,
I'm
what?
sorry, but when they pulled that rabbit out of the hat, I was like, are you fucking with me right now? Here I am sitting here twisting my fucking brain just to try to keep up with what the hell's going on, and then you're gonna give me a payoff like that? I was a little upset, but once again,
it wasn't the true payoff.
Well, true. It wasn't the true payoff, and also fit into context with this movie. It somehow works. Look, I mean, I feel like watching this movie is like fucking beating off with sandpaper. You know, like you'll get there. You know what I mean? You're confused on why you're doing it, but for some reason you can't stop. This movie really fucking confused me, and I've watched some doozies. There's some, I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, clearly, this is the picture, whatever, and I'll sit here and analyze it night and day. This one, I found it so hard to even like. I couldn't find a launching pad. I'm like, as soon as I find my footing, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel comfortable. I think I know where it's going. Well, fuck. Now we're under blankets, and now there's all this weird visual shit, and now different things are flying around, and everyone's trying to fuck each other. What the hell's going on?
That's basically, that's basically the curtain. That's from Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. All that shit is just thrown out there to be weird for the movie,
right?
But I mean, what the movie's about is the problem with modernity and our growing hubris with our own technology
and penis
and a penis. Yeah. We've lost what it's like to be really in touch with each other and humanity, and we've become obsessed with our sciences and our ourselves. That's what the movie's about, man.
I just want to be a part of the tent of old people dancing. I'm fine with that.
Did they ever use the bathroom?
Well, they ate green bread. They were probably took shits.
Yeah. The passing of the green
they
bread.
Did eat.
They nibbled on the green bread. Like they passed around and nibbled it. And once it made a full circle, that's when they started breaking it up. That was weird. Why was the bread green?
I have one for you, little Mr. Nitpicker.
They had flour that was white.
It's true. So it said whenever the voting was being tallied, it said like 56 for, or I'm just saying 56. I don't know the actual number. It said a certain number for, which is a very low number.
Yeah.
And against, it was like in the 500s.
Yeah.
Where are these people?
Other vortexes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because they had numbered vortexes. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was sitting there thinking, like, there's not that many people here. Like, it's like 500 and something.
Oh, yeah. Okay. To explain, vortexes were just basically
communes.
Yeah, they were like communes that had an invisible dome over them. Mm-hmm. So the outlands, which is where, and at one point it even shows like dilapidated. It looks like England or whatever. Dilapidated buildings that are run down and people kind of just in traditional clothing.
I'm not even gonna lie. This isn't a bit. Yeah. I actually thought that they were maybe trying to like bring in like the immigration or something like that of like Polish people and Irish people and stuff, because that's what it looked like to me. I'm like, oh, this is like supposed to be. I thought they were gonna pull in some sort of like a twist to it, like where it's about.
Well,
Go ahead. You know where I'm going with it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
see.
everyone knows where I'm going with
I
that.
see where you're going. It's more of to me. It's more of a. It was more of an environmentalist thing. You know, the whole like, oh, there's too many people. We'll just kill them. I mean, that was what.
So kind of one of the same as what I feel like what I was trying to go with mine is sort of tied
Yeah,
into that.
because they had walled themselves off in these communities. They had become immortal, and then everybody outside, they left it up to this guy, Arthur, and he basically created the executioners to go out and cull the population that was left. Because we just don't need the people. We're immortal. We don't need these other people. And they literally treated him. They called, because at the beginning they called him it. They locked him in a cage with other animals in this one area.
Yeah.
They viewed them as not less than
literal animals, by the way, like chimpanzees and stuff like that.
Yeah. So.
I did. So one question as far as like the shield, for the vortexes and stuff like that. There's like a vaginal slit that Sean Connery penetrated, and I feel like there was actually a scene too whenever he was isolated in one by himself, and all the people were like climbing on top of it and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure there's a shot where like an arm goes through it.
What are we talking about right now?
Like the bubble stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're all
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
go
yeah.
in.
There's literally like
Yeah.
there
They
is
look like
an-
the giant condoms.
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
an interest. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I found another piece of trivia here. A number of women involved in production allege that Sir Sean Connery often pursued sex scenes far longer than the director required.
Oh yeah, he did. He did.
Ostensibly, an inside source claimed there was a clause in Connery's contract that facilitated his sexual activities towards female actors.
What?
It was a part of the reasons he accepted the role.
The thing is, there's not really any sex scene.
I know.
Not really.
No.
I mean, he just kind of just grabbed a couple of titties and
Yeah,
that was and awkwardly kissed him.
There was that.
That was about it.
Now he did. He did take the what do they refer to them at the
apathetic.
the apathetic. He took
yeah.
the one apathetic.
Felt her up.
Laid her on a
Felt her
bed
up
of
and
hay,
threw her. Yeah.
and then she, whenever he found, her to not be responsive in any nature, he picks her up and just
Threw
fucking
her
throws
across the room.
He was
Oh,
pissed.
God, it was so funny though because it looked like kind of one of those dummy scenes,
Yeah.
which I always fall
Yeah.
for that. I think that shit's so funny looking.
Yeah, he was gonna rape her, and the guy was just like, "Yeah, I mean, go ahead. She don't care."
Well, I mean, obviously this goes down to like the writer and director's choice and not the actors. But I mean, as far as like the way the film is presented, I would say that there's much more sexual pressure on him from the women as opposed to him on the women. At least I
Yeah.
feel that way.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Now, like you guys said, there
So
was
they're
this
asking
couple.
for it. Is what-
Don't you dare! Don't you dare, sir!
It's how they were dressing, man.
No,
Those loose clothing, no bra, all those nipples everywhere.
Yeah, even
Ask
the
them.
Well, there
Men.
were nipples everywhere,
Yeah,
including
nipples
men.
everywhere.
Yes. I did think one thing was really funny though, just while we're on this kind of a topic. So whenever he is in the stone head, and the people are in the plastic bags and whatever, just sort of, which I still don't really fully understand what that was about either. But
I don't think anybody did. I don't think the director did.
And I, this is just kind of a thing of the times that I like to kind of point out that I always think is funny. In that time, like now, it's not uncommon to see like nudity on male or female, period. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of dick in movies, there's a lot of boobs and vagina in movies, just kind of equal parts nowadays. But back then, like it is funny, like on the dudes, they make sure to put the time to like have them have underwear on. But the women, no, they're fine. Yeah, boobs and vagina exposed, totally okay. I just thought it's funny. It's something I like to notice in those movies and be like, it's.
You saw vagina?
They didn't have panties on when the ones in those bags.
I guess that's because
It's just the
they didn't really have bush either. It was just kind of shadowed. But I think if
Yeah,
you have a
you're not-
wiener, it's pretty visible.
you're not gonna see like
You can
the
see
labias and
gash.
stuff.
Yeah,
You're
you're
not
gonna
gonna-
see folds through the plastic.
I'm sorry, women. No, I'm just saying. I just think it's just something funny
The
that I.
vagina
I
is
hear what
like
you're saying.
down here.
Yeah, see,
It's not up here.
it's not a front hole.
Yeah.
It's like a bottom.
I'm sorry.
hole.
Can you guys please explain sex
like-
to me? I
it's
have
like-
no idea what it is.
It's like this.
I told you I can't read.
It's like you got a hole right here, and then a penis, and it goes straight down.
Right.
Is that how it works, Patrick?
Yeah.
I think so. You got a lot of time to read about this living in a camper.
It's like yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That was a terribly mean.
It's like you go.
Yeah.
And then the
you
hole
occasionally
is
swirl
sideways,
around. Yeah.
Sideways hole.
Well, unless you're
Yeah.
Oriental.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
we
what
went
I
there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys are gonna try to back me in a corner.
All right, let's give
Back baby in a
Let's
corner.
give scores for this movie. Let's give
I'm not
scores.
starting on this one.
Patrick. Go ahead, Patrick.
I don't know.
Tell us how you feel, man. Tell us how you feel.
I'm honestly.
Talk right into that mic, since they're actually working this time.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna actually have to give this about a 2.5.
Ooh.
It was crazy, but it just.
I feel like I could feel Patrick being bored.
I was getting
He was
bored.
yawning quite a bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just was a lot of just crazy shit. It was just from a mind of a dude just on LSD. He's like, I got this great idea. He wrote it down and then gave Sean Connery some LSD and then promises of fucking bitches.
And $200,000
Yes.
and extended sex scenes.
Yeah.
That obviously
And-
we didn't see in the
yeah.
movie, but happens.
Apparently
Off
they're there.
screen.
They're
Let's
there
get that
somewhere.
arrow version.
Yeah.
Let's get that
Yeah.
arrow
Yeah.
version. Yeah.
But yeah, there were some parts in it. It was funny to me, but it wasn't like laughing so much funny. I don't know about it. It's just I wouldn't watch it again.
You wouldn't? Did
No.
you say?
I would not watch it again.
Would not watch again. Well,
I feel
that's
like that's
not a
probably-
good endorsement at all.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Yeah.
probably the harshest thing that's actually ever been
Yeah.
said on this
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
I would not watch this again.
Yeah.
No, we burned Peter Rottentail, so
Still,
if I could,
I would watch this before I watched fucking Peter Rottentail.
speaking of which, I
I
found
think
that
you
at
would say the
McKay's
same
again,
thing too.
I want to see it. I have to see it.
Oh, well, there you
Found
go.
it in McKay's.
and I bought it.
Did
Did you really?
Turns out it was the same copy because I wrote on the inside of the cover my name, so
Yeah.
I know nobody steals it.
Oh my god.
You're fucking with
Oh
us.
my
No.
god. It is. It can't
No.
be destroyed. It can't be destroyed. Holy shit. We gotta come.
What?
We'll come back to this next Halloween.
Okay.
I'm trying to play with you, but man, you're just not very bright. You burned it. You burned it.
No, seriously, that is true.
He's sticking with it. All right, I'm going to give this. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I think it's too long. I think it's too long. It drags. They should have cut like, I'd say about 20 minutes from it, 15 minutes from it.
Mhm.
But I still enjoyed how weird and crazy it was. I enjoy all the trippy shit. I enjoy all the dialogue, all that introspective, bizarre shit that doesn't make a lot of sense. I like it. I have good time with it. So I'd give this 4 buckets of popcorn. It's not perfect, but it's got some good crazy stuff in it. I feel like it's sort of I mentioned we were watching it. A lot of the feel of it reminded me, kind of the allegory along with the trippy shit. It reminded me of an extended episode of the original Star Trek. It had that feel to it. Like they, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy beam down to a weird fucking planet. This utopian shit's going on, and they're stuck and trying to figure it out. That it made me think of that. So yeah, I give it a 4. If you like weird shit, you'll like it.
Well, I'm actually quite surprised. At sort of the difference that's about to take place here. So as far as you were talking about an episode of Star Trek, something that hit me about coming into like your third act of the movie. I was actually thinking for the first time to myself, mind you, this meaning I have never came across a film that has made me feel this way before.
Ooh. I
I would like to see a mini series of this. I feel like what I was watching could have been broken down into like a 6 episode kind of a thing. Like, let's start off with your beat of how did he get here, what's going on, and to me it really
Seriously?
did. Like, I'm being actually
Okay, like an HBO series.
I'm being dead serious.
Okay,
sort
okay.
of like what they've been. Now I haven't finished the series, but sort of what they've been kind of doing with Dark Crystal. Because when you watch that movie, I mean, there's a lot of questions that you have that come along the way, especially for a kids movie. Or a family-oriented movie, I guess a better way to put it. But seriously, I feel like there's a lot of stuff they could have went more in depth with that they didn't. Instead of trying to, I feel like they. Here's the main thing that I'm surprised on. You guys saying that you felt like it ran a little long. I feel like, for my own purposes of having such a hard time keeping pace with stuff and everything, and like wanting more of an explanation, I did not feel any pacing issues with this one. I could have easily. I was surprised whenever we took a break and you were saying, "Oh, it's got 40 more minutes," because my mom was like, "Fuck, 40 more minutes of this craziness." But I did not feel any moments of stagnant water. I was actually like really intrigued. I'm like, what is going to happen, and when am I going to fully understand what is happening? And that just might just be a difference in the way that I view movies. You know, I love an open ending. I love like something that's able to be interpreted many different ways and stuff. But this just doesn't have. This movie doesn't have that. I hate to sound like an asshole, but that scholarly level of thought behind it to me. I'm looking at it and I'm like, there has to be a clear depiction of what is going on to me, or what is going on here. At least that's the way that I look at it. So yeah, I feel like this could benefit from an episodic, sort of a thing. And to be completely honest, on that level of it making me think so much, I know that generally during our reviews, I have a ton of stuff to say. I didn't really necessarily have a lot of stuff to say as far as plot goes and everything like that with this one. That in itself kind of challenges me, which I appreciate. So I found this to be a challenging film that might make me sound completely stupid. But all that being said, I'm giving it 5.
Nice.
Cool. I really enjoyed it. I'm not saying it's without flaw, but even the flaw I thought was actually kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way that it looked. It worked very well within its means. It was not afraid to take chances with what I'm assuming to be probably a fairly limited budget. And it's like, hey, this might not look the best, but it's part of it. We have to have this in it in order to once again make sense of it all, which I couldn't follow. But anyway, I appreciate the challenge of it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and not just in a standard like poke at a movie kind of fun way. Like, it was legitimately a good time, and I enjoyed it.
Cool. Yeah, I'd like to hear what you say. Like, watch it again. And hear your thoughts on it.
This will definitely be given another.
Because Rachel didn't get to finish it, so maybe go back and.
Yeah,
you got like 45 hours left. To watch it. I got another piece of trivia for you guys. So, guess what movie Borman was gonna do if it wasn't canceled? So this movie got canceled, so he ended up doing the movie we're reviewing. I forgot the name of the damn movie now.
Zardoz? How do you forget Zardoz?
I don't keep up with it. That's
you don't keep up with it.
That's how
Zordan?
bad I don't like.
That was my joke.
Zordan?
Zordan the Barbarian.
Yeah. The how bad I don't.
So he was about to do another movie, and I'm assuming this movie got released via someone else.
This movie got canceled.
So he was going to do this movie?
He was going to do another movie, but it got canceled, he ended up doing this instead.
So what was it?
You want to take a guess?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know what premise to guess on. I mean, is it a movie that ended up getting released by a different director?
Yes, by a different director
Aliens,
at a different time.
Aliens.
Definitely in the future from this time.
Back to the
Terminator.
Future.
No.
Terminator 3.
Some might call it Middle Earth.
Oh, really?
He was going to do Lord of the Rings, and it got canceled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine
Thank
what
God.
that would be.
Wow.
Well, that does make me go back, because apparently Sean Connery was originally offered the role of Gandalf.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, seriously. I'm serious. It's true.
No, I believe you.
Yeah, he literally didn't want it. He turned it down and did fucking League of Extraordinary Gentlemen instead. Completely true. He could have been fucking Gandalf. I mean, thank God, because Ian McKellen was perfect,
Awesome.
perfect for Gandalf. But
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like, I feel like, am I incorrect that came out? Okay, so whenever I try to think of like when movies came out, I always, I worked at Blockbuster for like 8 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
Am I incorrect that was like the same year that like Zoolander was coming out and stuff? I remember
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I remember stocking that movie on the shelves.
Early
I remember
2000s.
stocking
Yeah.
like all these just awful bullshit fucking comedy. Like there's a few years that stand out to me as far as like those are awful fucking years for movies. That year that League of Extraordinary Gentlemen came out, I remember that especially being just like a terrible fucking time.
Wasn't that a comic book one?
Yeah, it's based off a comic.
yeah.
Because there was 2 movies called League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. There was the comic book one, and then another one that's some like British movie type thing. It was really weird.
Can you just imagine? Come with me, young hobbits. None shall pass. Fly, you fools. And he's like, in his contract, he has to bang an elf. Each movie, he's got to bang an elf. Galadriel.
I feel like if you guys want to keep going on for just a few minutes for shits and giggles, it's actually Sean Connery is a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's almost like the world has taken his presence and they have ran with it way further than his actual acting career.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like, sure, he was in James Bond. He's done a bunch of stuff, but like, really, it's just been people.
It's SNL.
Glorifying. Yeah. It's SNL. It's SNL. It's
totally
the
that.
Jeopardy skits.
Yeah.
Like.
Take the rapist for 200.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think. Like, I actually find myself. Okay, so we got Medicine Man. We've got The Rock.
There's a classic. That's
There
a
was
classic.
one
Yes,
with
yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones that he's with.
Thief.
Entrapment.
Yeah.
Entrapment.
Yep.
Entrapment was a good movie. Oh my god, that Catherine Zeta-Jones scene with like the lasers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
The booty. Yeah.
that booty. What else have we got?
I don't leave Extraordinary Gentlemen, of course. But
I think he just got too fucking old. I mean, maybe there's shit in the 60s and 70s we just don't know
It might
about.
be because it
You know
kind of
what I mean?
seems like he sort of did like, well, okay, well, let's just say at
I mean, he
least in
did
the
a
States
lot
and
of
everything,
Bond movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but if you think of
The
like trying to think of
Untouchables.
classics, Untouchables, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
he is.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah, it looks like the last movie he actually did was Leave Extraordinary Gentlemen, and
Just
he did like a TV episode of some History Channel.
yeah, I think he's just old. His health is bad. Is I think what I've
Finding
heard.
Forrester.
Oh, that was actually a pretty decent movie.
Playing by Heart. Oh, The Avengers was the one I was thinking of.
The Avengers.
Yeah, it was a '98 movie.
Fucking Dragonheart.
Yeah,
That movie was
Dragonheart. He was
badass.
the dragon.
Okay.
As yeah.
Draco. First
Okay.
night where the kid goes back in time. I think it is. No, it's not. Never mind. I think it's something else. Good Man in America, Rising Sun.
Oh yeah, Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Highlander.
small little.
He's
role in that,
he's not
yeah.
in that movie much.
Yeah,
Highlander 2.
Hunt for Red October. That's
Yeah.
another huge one.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Anyway,
Indiana
yeah.
Jones, Last Crusade. How can I
Oh, of
forget?
course, yeah. Oh, fuck. We erased this whole
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. Oh, he did.
Which one?
Huh?
Which movie?
Crystal Skull.
Crystal Skull.
Yeah, Crystal Skull.
There was a picture of him
Oh,
in
that's
Crystal
Katy
Skull.
Perry's last tour. Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
He look. There's a part where Indy has the crystal skull, and the skull talks to him and says, "Look into me. What do you see?"
Fractions of light.
He's like in there. He stares at it for like 10 minutes, and he sees Sean Connery's face.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot better than the crystal skull, right?
No, I am actually hideously embarrassed for
yeah,
all
I
of
am too.
us.
I am too. I'm red
I
faced.
literally have it sitting right over there. I should throw it away.
throw it away and buy it again. It's
Yeah,
it's pens.
Yes,
Pens.
yes. Oh my god.
All right.
No, this one was great, guys.
Great movie.
I'm definitely glad you brought this one up, Nathan. Yeah. So we are still. Jesus Christ, man! These terms for winning Suburban Commando.
Nobody wants
Oh
it.
no,
Did somebody
Yeah.
comment? I haven't checked. Did somebody
No.
comment on that? No.
no, we were just gonna pick somebody.
We were gonna have
Well,
the
he
first
said-
person who commented on the
Yeah.
last video was gonna receive it because you guys were bickering about what constitutes as their actual 50th
On the
subscriber.
last video.
Yeah.
Oh well, somebody did comment on the last video. Actually,
See?
Did they?
Did?
yeah.
Okay.
I think I know who it is though.
What
Well,
did they
that's
get
fine.
the movie?
If they commented, they get the movie.
movie's been here. Did
Well,
you,
you can-
ship it? Did you contact
God
him?
damn, he's touchy, ain't he?
You comment? Who was
Jesus Christ, boy,
comment?
he's
You?
rough, ain't he?
Who commented? Is it
I
Brian?
think it was the Kung Fu guy.
Oh, of course.
No, he didn't comment on
Of
the
course.
last one, did he?
I mean, Seafood Dylan definitely. I mean, if he commented, he should get the fucking movie.
He should get the fucking movie.
We can get this
Okay,
off our chests
go
already.
right now.
He doesn't have a VCR under that bridge.
I mean, we can find one for Riccio, right? Okay, I'm gonna go to the video.
Comment and
Scroll on down.
what does it say?
The True Trussell. I'm signing up for those martial arts classes tonight.
No, this is somebody else, I think.
No, that's him.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, good. There you go. You guys had a chance, but Seafood
Y'all
Dylan,
fucking
Yeah.
wanked off too long.
Seafood Dylan took it.
Mm-mm.
All right.
I'm joining his guys next Thursday. I'm gonna be down there under
Oh,
the
nice.
bridge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He said, come with pocket change, wear my sweats.
What time?
Sure.
Midnight,
Yeah. I'll be
Or-
off. I might join.
or maybe, or just depending.
pocket change.
If
right?
he's pocket change, sweatpants.
So is he wanting like $half or just?
I don't think you have to go that
Pennies?
far.
No, you guys are misinterpreting pocket. Like you have to change out your pockets.
Oh. So I have to cut out my pockets. All of them? Even the back ones?
You guys don't have an extra set of pockets. Always keep one on me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you just start doing. Oh,
extra. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Well, there you go. You,
Yeah.
so truly.
Congratulations, Seafood Dylan.
Yeah. You won.
Yeah. Watch Georgia. It's a good movie.
I guess.
Seafood Dylan the Dojo, the corn dog.
Yeah.
I guess Brian
no.
will bring it to you to work
And if you
tomorrow, which would be a couple of days
No,
before.
you have to mail it.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Make a post. You boxing it up, and
Okay.
yeah,
Done deal.
Okay.
All right. That was fun.
that's been no more popcorn, has it?
Zardoz.
Zordon.
Zardoz.
Zordon?
Zardoz.
Zorro. Oh, he was in Zorro too. He was Anthony Banderas.
Anthony Banderas.
No,
ending this
I'm
video.
thinking
I'm ending this
Anthony-
video. Anthony
Thinking
Hopkins.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins and Antonio Banderas.
He was actually he was both of them. He played both of them. That's amazing.
He said
What
I
were
could
we
smell
saying?
your cunt.